Hey everybody, this is Perch. It's kind of a second take on a video. And I find that when I'm doing videos that are, uh, I don't know, based on other people's opinions, this is why this channel is never going to be a good reaction video channel. I don't really like it. It always feels like I'm arguing with someone without the person being there. And I don't know, it just feels wrong. And I'm like, here's my opinion. Here's me reacting to something, but the reacting to someone, I don't know. It just always feels like I'm being a little dodgy if the person's not there to kind of explain things. Because how many times have I said something on this channel and people go to town with it? They're like, he's an industry shill. And it's like, okay, yeah, but not, no. And you're missing like the core nuance, or not even a nuance, but a huge detail, the huge flaming detail in this entire thing. So I don't know. I don't really want to be that. But people ask me questions. So I got this email, and I'm not going to read it again here because, I read it for the previous video, deleted it, and then rethought the first video, and, I'm too lazy to go into the trash and recover it. But basically, the mail was a two-parter, and it asked a question, which was really a lead-in for the second question. And the first question was, hey, what did I think of Alien Romulus? Have I seen it? How did I like it? What did I think? And the second part of the mail was, what do I think about, in this case, the Zach's? I still don't know. Am I Richard or Zach? What is the professional name? Anyway, Zach. What do I think of Zach's take on birthday clowns? And this first came up. I saw this mail, and I was reminded that when I was on Thinking Critical, I don't know, several days ago, and I did one of the live streams, which is the first time I've done it in like a long time. But anyway, I did it, and in it, the other panelists were asking me about what I thought about the birthday clown thing, and I had no idea what people were talking about. I've been sick and traveling, so have missed a lot of the birthday clown. I missed the lead up to this, mainly sick. And so I didn't know what this thing was. And then I didn't know why people were asking me this. And then they wanted me to say happy birthday, and I didn't know what that meant. I guess I'm a clown. There's a joke on me. Or maybe, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to wish people a happy birthday. And I'm like, happy birthday. Like, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on right now. Sorry. It's fine. But finally, I got this mail. So I'm like, all right, I go. And I look at it. And basically, I'm paraphrasing a lot of takes and a lot of nuance. See, this is the problem with doing these kinds of videos, is because I think there's a lot of little points, but I'm going to boil it down to one. And the high level summary is that, some commentators are all in on the culture war and don't actually watch or actually, or you're not getting their opinion of whether they actually like or dislike something. It's Disney, so therefore it's shit. And the entire business model has been built around, it kind of has to be shit. If it's not, people don't listen to channels like, here's some positive stuff about comics. You could do it, but either you got to make it so generically, saccharinely stupid that's like, Cable explained. Cable was actually Cyclops' son who went into the future. Whoa! And it's like, I don't know. I'm sure there's an audience for those videos, but that audience is retarded people. So that's not for me. Anyway, or you have the outrage video. Can you believe? Oh, here they go again. They've replaced Benjamin Franklin with a disabled gay black chick on a Netflix series. It's going to go broke. And, the challenge is that several of the people who do channels like that are good at what they do. They're entertaining. They're well practiced. They rehearse. They're not like me doing commentary while driving around in a car. They actually produce this stuff, and they have good voice, good mannerisms, good way of talking. Not as good as my well practiced radio voice here that make all the ladies wet. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, not really. I also like that in the middle of the lame joke about my own voice, the little headset gives up, And like in a normal video, if like you were a well-practiced orchestrated thing, you would pause, you would edit, you would cut it, you'd get it so you didn't notice the transition from, headphone to just talking into the phone. But me, it's like, fuck it. They'll never see. They'll never know. It's, I don't know. What a world. Anyway, I don't begrudge. So that's more or less what this is. So I don't know exactly. There's probably an origin point as to what birthday clowns. Why birthday clowns? Is it somebody who's coming to just kind of entertain you, or I'm not sure where that the origin to that is. But that's okay. So to answer the email, like I did the other video quickly, I did watch Alien Romulus, and it was fine. It was good. In terms of the Alien movies, for me, it was better than the prequels, in my opinion. It was better than Aliens 3. It was better than that clone Sigourney Weaver one. It doesn't hold a candle to Alien and Aliens, but it was entertaining. It was fine. But for me, and if you listen to this channel for any length of time, there's movies that are absolutely terrible where I walk out of the theater or can't stand it anymore. There's movies that are amazing that I watch over and over again. They hold a place in my heart. And then there's 90% of the movies which are in the middle. And the 90% of the movies that are in the middle, the bar for me is, do I feel reasonably entertained, like I didn't waste my time? And that's an easy bar to clear, and I'm happier as a result. Most pieces of content fit into that, and that's okay. That's just, quite frankly, I feel a lot better about the money I'm spending. I don't feel as bad, because nobody, at least for me, I don't enjoy seeing a bad movie. I have a friend who enjoys seeing bad movies because he's like, I'm gonna roast the shit out of this, and he just gets very excited. And the problem is, I think with that mentality, because you're excited about roasting, you start wanting everything to be bad, and then you start actually seeing everything as bad, and that's your whole. That's what makes you happy, gets you off. I mean, more power to you, but the real product there then is not the movie; it's the roast of the movie or the comic or whatever. But Romulus is fine. It looked okay. The acting was reasonable. The storyline had good points and grown points. I mean, it was good. I was entertained, and for what it's worth, that's really all that counts. I didn't see anything nauseingly bad in there. It was fine. I saw some other people commenting that it was like, oh, they're just ripping off all the good stuff from previous movies. I didn't get that. I mean, unless the definition of ripping off, stuff from previous movies is extended to, they were in space and the other movie was also in space and there was a spaceship and they used a similar line. And I don't know. I didn't get the feeling like it was hammering you over the head with that stuff. It was fine. But it was a Disney movie, and because it's a Disney movie, it does have to be shit and it does have to be failing and everything else. And there was one bit. So now moving to the second question, what do I think about, Zach's comment on this? I mean, more or less, yeah. I mean, if you've been listening to my channel for 5 years, it's kind of always been my take. I do think that, there's definitely a desire to get outrage going because it's profitable. And I also think that if you hate everything, it is reasonable to ask the question, why are you watching it or consuming it in the first place? If you hate Marvel Comics, why are you watching them? And I think the other thing in there is a lot of the people who are roasting kind of Marvel Comics or movies or any of this stuff, I do have a belief they're not actually watching or reading the stuff they're roasting. Some are, for sure, but I think a lot of them are not. It just, sometimes the reviews are too off. Like you miss like a major point of it. And I also know this because once upon a time when I used to post on Twitter, I would post comic panels and I would change the wording out. You remember that bit? It's got me into trouble. David Pepos got so pissed off. He's like, keep your name out of my mouth. It's like, or keep your name. Yeah, okay. I said it completely wrong there, but you get the idea. I'll never buy another thing of his again. Fuck him. Anyway, he did act like an entire child tantrum baby there. Anyway, these panels. So I used to post them, and people would quote unquote, fall for it. Like, oh, look what's going on in X-Men now. And it's like, no, clearly this didn't go on in X-Men. And there was a guy who did an entire run of commenting on panels that were clearly incorrect. They were clearly fake, but, the guy bought it. And my intent was not to trick people because, like, I think he'd have to be really, really dense not to know. Yes, I know Marvel has some groan-worthy stuff, but, in the middle of X-Men, they're not going to suddenly start talking about a YouTube feud with Doug Ernst. Like what? That didn't happen. No, but once upon a time in Moon Knight, they actually did refer. Yeah, I get it. But no. If you're reading the comics, you wouldn't fall for this stuff. But so I think a lot of people are not actually reading this stuff. And I think the product becomes, get mad. And, maybe the difference of opinion I have is that's their channel. It's their business. That's their deal. And they're successful. They've got a lot of viewers. I don't see anything wrong with them doing that. I think context required of, hey, we all should be aware that, there's a bias here. I do think there's parts of it that get silly, like when people really comment on the stock price and they're commenting on a 1% drop and they're like, the entire company's imploding. But, you can't beat up on YouTubers that much when CNN and Fox and others are doing the same thing. We've talked about the stock market scam people use where they adjust the graph to like show 100 through 104, and then the little line looks really steep and like, oh my God, the whole company is tanking. It's like, no, you change the graph to look more extreme. Disney is not, about to go under. They're bleeding so much cash. It's just, if you believe that, you're just not dealing with facts. If you want to believe that Disney stuff is all shit, then that is something it's your opinion. You're the consumer. Nobody gets to tell you whether you're right or wrong there. Be my guest. But if you start talking about like, I have an inside, everybody has I have an inside source who's a friend who says that Kathleen Kennedy was called a bitch in a board meeting and then they told her to take off her shoes and they beat her with it. Like, the guy, okay, your inside sources are wish fulfillment. And most inside sources are wish fulfillment. I mean, how many years now have we gone down the road of the inside source that says, DC's gonna die in 2 months, no 4 months, no next year, no right now. Marvel is about to go under. Disney's gonna shed it. Oh my goodness, they're firing all the people. Like, I don't tune into a lot of the live streams, but every now and then these clips get clipped into other videos. And there was one where they're talking, it's like, I have an inside source that says that, Bob Iger and Kevin Feige are done with all the woke stuff and they're not going to do any of it. And my inside source says this is a change. You're not going to notice it right away. It's probably going to take 3 years. That's very convenient. But this is and then they ran with it like it was news based on somebody's friend of the cousin's uncle it's just dumb. But anyway, at the end of the day, look, you're on YouTube and your choice of entertainment is really no different than cable news or, or streaming services or anything else. There's shows up there. You pick the genre or channel of show you like, you watch it. It's your business. And if you like watching, people roast Disney, and a lot of these guys are polished and entertaining at doing it. So cool. But where I think where it irritates me, because it usually doesn't, but where it irritates me is when people come in and they start, basically using this stuff as facts, basically saying, this other channel said that, Kevin Feige said, fuck all the wokes. And then you're over here saying this comic's not really bad. And, you're up. I mean, it's where they use it as an argument. And I mean, look, there's this meme that you've seen, right? With the NPC, the little gray kind of, featureless robot looking character where the NPC just regurgitates whatever the message or the narrative is. Why want to be? Nobody wants to be one of those, right? I mean, fuck, I don't want to be one. I enjoy people who argue. I enjoy people who argue on the level. There's definitely people who don't. There's definitely people who choose to just argue out of bad faith. There's there's people who don't like what I say, and they're like, he's a shill. And but why would you want to be an NPC? And why do you think that NPCs only exist for one ideology and not the other? There's only left-leaning NPCs. There's no right-leaning NPCs. Those people are all patriots. They never regurgitate the same dumbass talking points over and over again. Well, of course they do. It turns out there's dumbasses of every persuasion, every ideology, every thought process. Don't be a dumbass. Okay, I don't care, like, well, yeah, but the left-leaning dumbasses have more power at the moment than the right-leaning dumbasses, and there's more cable news that caters to the left, the liberal dumbasses rather than the right-leaning dumbasses. Maybe so, sure, but isn't the summary don't be a dumbass? Like, why do you want to be yes, I am a shill who doesn't have my own opinions, but they're at least they're not Disney opinions. I mean, why? Like, what's the point of that? You should you should just want to be your own person, and that means sometimes that you like a comic other people don't like, or you like a movie that other people don't like, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that you're suddenly a communist because you like Alien Romulus. I mean, what the fuck? There you go. Anyway, there's my take on it. I don't like doing reaction videos. I need to stop. Thanks for listening.